Hi, this is Brian with mWater. This lesson will cover managing sites. In this lesson, you will learn how to use the app to search for existing sites, view and modify site data, add a new site, download sites for offline use, and monitor sites using surveys and issues. I'm going to start by reviewing the differences between sites and surveys. Now that we're familiar with sites, let's get started in the app. From the home page of the mWater Surveyor app, users can click the map to view sites in a map and list format. This page displays all sites which are visible to the user based on the privacy settings of each site. The list at the bottom will show the basic information of each point which is on the map, starting with the one that is closest to the center. By clicking on the target icon on the middle left side, this will zoom to my current location. As you can see on the map, there's a blue dot in the center representing my current location, and there are various different colored dots around it, and the sites in the table below are the water points, water systems, health facilities, and various other types of sites that are around me. The first site in the list should be the one that's closest to me. I can see that there's one which is 5 meters north of me, one which is 8 meters south of me. My location doesn't have many sites, so I'm going to navigate to an area that does, like Haiti, for example. By using the minus icons and my fingers to drag the map, I'm able to locate anywhere in the world on the map. I'm going to take Haiti as an example because there are a lot of sites registered there. I'm going to zoom in to one area so that I can see all the sites for that area. There are several ways to locate an existing site. One of them is to click on the point within the map and click the Open button. Another way is to click on the item in the list, which will open the site page directly. I'm going to click Back. The final way is to search for it by clicking the search box at the top and typing in the name of the site. By selecting the site from the search list, I will be taken to that site page. I'm going to click Back. The gear icon at the top right will display various settings for the map. The first item in this menu is the View Filter section. If I click on My Groups, it will only display sites which are managed by an organization to which I belong. If I click Mine, it will only display sites which are managed by my user account. It's most common to click All, or sometimes My Groups. The next item is the Select Layers section, which displays each site type in the legend and also permits users to deactivate and activate each of them. For example, if you don't want to see households, you can simply click the check mark next to households, and all the households will not appear on the map. If I just want to see water systems, I can select None and then turn on water systems. This will only show water systems on the map. I'd like to see them all, so I'm going to click All. Keep in mind there are a variety of different site types, and make sure you register each site as the correct type. The last item on this list is called Make Available Offline. This is a very important button for users who are going to be surveying sites without an internet connection. For these users, it's recommended that when they have a good internet connection, that they zoom to the region that they will be working and click Make Available Offline. I'm going to take an example. I'm going to go to the map and zoom to an entire section of Haiti. I'm going to click on the gear icon and click Make Available Offline. This will download the sites to my device. As you can see, 2,889 items have been cached, and now it's going to ask me if I also want to cache the map tiles. Map tiles are much larger than sites, so caching large amounts of map tiles will consume a lot of mobile data, and also storage space on the device. If I don't want to cache the map tiles, I can simply click Cancel. If I don't cache the map tiles and I go offline, the sites will still be displayed, but the base map, which shows roads, rivers, names, and boundaries, will be blank when offline. Now that these sites are cached, I can disconnect from the internet and collect data offline for as long as I like. Once I get an internet connection, any of these modifications to these sites will be synced to and from the mWater cloud. By clicking on any of the sites via the methods I mentioned below, I will be taken directly to the site page. I'm going to search for a specific site just to show you how it works. I'm going to click on the search button and search for a specific site. I'm going to select the site from the list, and I'll go directly to the site page. In this example, I've clicked on P Campeche number 1. The title's at the top. Below is one or more photos. If there's multiple photos, I'll be able to scroll or swipe to the right to see the next photo. After the photo is an item which displays which organization or user manages the data for this site. In mWater, all data is managed by the users themselves. Users are able to set view and edit permissions for all sites that they manage. Next, the page displays the site description and type. The type here is borehole or tube well. The unique ID is an ID which will never be repeated for any other sites. The GPS location will tell how far the site is away from my current location and in which direction. Some sites may also have a quick functionality update, which allows users to quickly mark sites as functional, needs repair, non-functional, or no longer exists. Below, I can see a history of when this water point was marked as functional. The next section of this page displays any actions which can be completed on this site. This includes starting a water quality test, starting a water point functionality report, starting a water point sanitary inspection, and starting any survey related to this site. If I click on any of these, this will start a survey and automatically fill in the site ID on the survey. Also, the same process can be used when reporting an issue, which will be discussed in a separate lesson. At the bottom of the page will display a list of all issues and surveys that have been completed on this site. For example, you can see the mWater Standard Functionality Report was completed in 2016. By clicking on the survey response in the table, I can view its data, and if I have permission, I may be able to edit it. I'm going to click back and return to the site page. An edit button will appear at the top of the page if my user account has authorization to edit this site. By clicking on this, I'll be taken to the site page where I can edit the basic information like privacy settings, name, type, GPS, and more. Authorized users are also able to delete the site with the delete button at the bottom right. Modifications will be saved by clicking on the Save button. I don't want to save any modifications, so I'm going to click Cancel. Now that we've seen the site page, let's go back to the map by pressing Back or the Map button. If a site is not found in the database, users can click the Add button at the top left. This will bring up a list of all available site types. By clicking on one of the site types, like for example, healthcare facility, I will be taken to the site creation page. Each of these pages start with the privacy settings, where users have to define who can view and edit the site. The public setting means that any user can see and modify or delete the site data. This is usually used for crowdsourcing, but is not recommended for critical data. Protected means that any user can see the basic data, but only the organization who manages the data can modify or delete it. That having been said, if a site is marked as protected, any user can complete a survey which references this site, even though they may not be able to modify the site. The private setting will only show the site to members of the organization which manage the data. It will be invisible to all other users. I'm going to select Protected. This is the most common one that's used. I can then select the user or organization which will manage this site. I'm going to mark this site as managed by example organization. It's important to talk to your supervisor to ask which permissions to set for the privacy settings of each site. I'm going to click example organization. Now I'm able to add the basic information for the health facility like name, description, GPS location, photos, and more. I'm going to enter in some fake data just to show how it works. Now I'm going to scroll down. At the bottom will be displayed various buttons that say Select, and Community, Waterpoint, or Household, or various other different site types. By clicking on this button, users are able to link this site to other existing sites, like the community to which this healthcare facility belongs. I'm not going to link this site just yet, so I'm just going to click Create. If I have not filled in the GPS coordinates, a message will appear and I will have to go back and do so. Now I'm going to create the site with the Create button. Once created, I'll be taken to the site page of that site. I can then go from this site page to starting a survey which is linked to the site. Surveys are then completed as discussed in the previous lessons. Well, that's all I have for you today, so let's review. This lesson covered managing sites. That included searching for an existing site, viewing and modifying existing sites, adding a new site, and downloading sites for offline use. That's all I have for this lesson. Thanks for watching.